had in the last 24 hours, that this is a very serious and significant problem that we're facing in Erie County. Some people in our community are not taking this seriously, including some of my fellow elected officials. It is time to put politics aside. It is time to work together to create a stronger, better community for all, because the statistics show that COVID-19 is everywhere in Erie County. Based on the most recent statistics that I have for the week ending on the 14th, as well as the first few days of this week, it appears that there is not a single town or city in Erie County that has an infection rate below 3%. And some of the areas from last week that had infection rates over 10% are startling because they are currently not in the yellow zone. The town of Elma led all areas with an infection rate of 11.8% last week. But the towns of North Collins, Boston, and the Derby section in Evans were the next three highest at 11.6, 11.5, and 10.9. The conversations I've had with the governor's office indicates that an announcement will be made tomorrow on Wednesday on a determination as to whether portions of the yellow zone will enter orange or, for that matter, red. And I also believe there is a significant chance that areas that are currently not in the yellow zone will be added to the yellow zone starting tomorrow. We are in a very bad situation, and I ask everyone to put politics aside, including those in the political arena. Now is not the time to point fingers. Now is the time to come together as a community and say, we can overcome this unfortunate growth of COVID-19 in our community. We've seen a rapid increase in cases over the last 2 weeks. We've seen a rapid increase in hospitalizations over the last week. And unfortunately, we've also seen deaths increase over the last week and a half. I learned about yesterday the death of an individual who I personally know. Not a very good friend or a family member, but someone that I know, and someone who should be here today but for COVID-19. We as a community must heed the warnings of the medical experts. If you don't believe me, believe Dr. Gail Burstein from our Department of Health. Believe Dr. Tom Russo from the University of Buffalo. Believe the other medical professionals that are out there, that we have to hunker down. We have to do what's right for our greater community. We still have an opportunity to control the spread of COVID-19 in our community if we do the right things, which is wear a mask when you're out in public and you're not around your close family members. If you're going to someone's house who's a friend of yours, first off, you might want to think about not going. And if you do go, wear a mask at all times, because we are continuing to see community spread, the transmission of COVID-19 between individuals who attend small gatherings at people's homes. And we are also starting to see an increase in spread in bars and restaurants and other locations where people are not following the rules properly. I'm glad to say our Department of Health staff is going out, as well as other local municipalities going out to check on bars and restaurants. The vast majority of them are following the rules, and I want to commend the members of the bar and restaurant community who are doing that. But there are occasional situations where we're finding bars, restaurants, or getting stories about bars and restaurants that are not doing it. So I ask each and every one of the members of the public, be smart. If you don't have to go out, if you don't have to do something in particular, don't. When every town, city in our community has an infection rate of greater than 3, and unfortunately, most have an infection rate greater than 5%, we're not doing as good a job as we possibly could. I know we could do better. It's time that each of us understand that the next few weeks are not going to be good. We're going to continue to see increased cases. We're going to continue to see increased hospitalizations and, unfortunately, increased deaths if we don't change our ways. So I ask you, on behalf of the healthcare professionals in our region who worked so hard during the spring, please work together to reduce the spread of COVID-19. We do not want to go back to where we were earlier in the spring, where there were hundreds of people being hospitalized every day and there were dozens dying. Unfortunately, the data shows it is everywhere, and it is an anti-discriminatory illness. It affects young and old. It affects the wealthy and the poor. It doesn't care what your race is. It doesn't care where you live. People are catching it across Erie County, and unfortunately, people are dying from it across Erie County. I fully expect that by this time tomorrow, we'll have a greater answer as to whether or not particular portions of Erie County will be put in the orange and red zone, and that decision will be announced by Governor Cuomo. I want to thank his team for the good work that they're doing. They're all working hard, just like our team in Erie County is. And I want to thank specifically our partners in the medical field, the healthcare providers, the people who work in the hospitals, the EMTs, the doctors' offices, the nurses. They are putting their lives at line to help the people who are sick with this illness. We need to do a better job as a greater community so that they're protected as well. So on behalf of the people of Erie County and my team in Erie County government, I want to thank all those who've been following the rules, but also to those who are thinking this is just politics, and to those in the political arena who are attacking it as a political measure. It's not. This is real. This is not a hoax. This is not a power grab. The last thing I want to be doing is spending all my time dealing with COVID-19, but as long as it's in our community, I will. This is not a power grab. This is a life or death situation, and we as a community hopefully can do better so that we can reduce the increased transmission, stem the increased hospitalizations, and unfortunately, or hopefully, reduce the amount of deaths. I ask for your patience. This is not going to happen overnight, but if we work together, we will get through this together. So until tomorrow, be safe, be well. Wear your masks when you're not around your immediate family members. And there's a great distance between myself and the others that are, there's only 2 other people in this room at this point, and they're far enough away that I'm not wearing the mask at this moment. But I'm going to put it on now because I'm going to leave and I'm going to go into the rest of the building, and I want people to understand this can be a lifesaver. Please wear your mask. Be safe and well, everyone. Until tomorrow,